So I'm going to do a tier list for all the books that I read in 2025, which was actually 68 books. That is the most books that I've read in a very long time because I went through an entire dry spell where I didn't really read, thanks to college. Fuck you, college. I guess I'll try to do a tier list in just like a super mini, like 2 sentences maybe about the books. And they'll be over here. We'll do a thing. So we'll start off with the Kasari Nexus, which is by Richard Phillips. It's part of the Row Agenda, which is actually 3 trilogies. This one is the first book in the 3rd trilogy. It comes after the Row Agenda. It's the Assimilation Agenda. It picks up where the Row Agenda leaves off, so this is the 7th book in the 9-book series. I guess I'll give it A tier. A tier, S tier, A tier, S tier. We'll give it S tier. No, A tier. We're going to give it A tier. It was good, but I wasn't as obsessed with it as I was the previous trilogy. Okay, the next one is Fourth Wing, which was a book club that I'm in. This was a pick for it for the month of January, and I'm giving this S tier. I was super, super obsessed. I have been obsessed with dragons since I was a little kid reading Anne McCaffrey, so I don't think I actually need to explain what the hell Fourth Wing is, because everybody and their cousin knows what Fourth Wing is. I loved it. And then I read Iron Flame. Oh, sorry, S tier. And then I read Iron Flame, and I would also give that S tier. I got super obsessed, and I read them in just a couple days. And then I read Onyx Storm, also S tier. How many S tiers am I going to have? That's a great question. The next one is The Mirror of Beasts, which takes place, it's the second in a duology. The first one is Silver, Blood Silver, oh, shit, I can't remember now. A tier. It was really good, but not as good as the first one, but still, I still very much enjoyed it. Next was The Scorpion Queen, which I got in Owl Crate. I liked, so the premise would have been good, but I was just kind of bored. I don't know, it was, maybe I wasn't in the mood, but it just wasn't. I gave it a C, maybe a D. I'm sorry. I really, really, really wanted to like it because I like the characters, the story seemed cool, but there's just something about the execution that I didn't jive with. Hooked by Emily McIntyre, which is supposed to be like a retelling. I don't know. This was just, I don't know what the hell I thought I was getting into, but it wasn't whatever this is, and I'm gonna give that a C. I'm gonna give it a C. I didn't hate it. I didn't really care for it. It just kind of existed, and I am not inclined to read anything else by her. Midnight Strikes. Also one that I got through Owl Crate, which was pretty good. It's a YA fantasy, but I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting concept. Basically, this, she's not a princess or anything. She's just from like a family, and she attends this ball, but every night at midnight, the clock resets, and everybody, there's like this rebellion going on, and she's at this ball, and everybody gets blown to smithereens. And so every night she relives it over and over again, and she has to keep trying further and further to figure out what's going on, but obviously nobody knows who the hell she is or anything. So I gave that a, it was cool. I wasn't super in love with it, but I thought it was a really good story and original. Like under slight romance to it, but mostly like a fantasy thing. I give it a B. It was enjoyable. Next is A Life on Our Planet by David Attenborough. Oh my god, it read exactly like Planet Earth or Blue Planet or anything that he has ever done. I loved it so much, and this is S tier, absolute fucking S tier for me. Everybody needs to read this. I may have cried a little bit. Maybe. Absolutely. It's really good. I appreciate how it was written and the format of it a lot. The next one that I had was an arc when I read it. It's called The Trouble with Dating Lexi. It's basically just a romance of sorts. She has commitment issues, self-doubts, things, whatever. It was my first arc, so I was like, woohoo, I got excited, you know. I received an arc. I felt very, an author allowed me to read this ahead of time. It was very cool. Not bad. I give it like a B. Next one is Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood, and I give that an S tier. I loved it so much. Last year was the first year that I read romance, and I'm learning what type I do and don't like. STEM romance, which is largely what Ellie Hazelwood does, I do enjoy. I quite enjoy it a lot. Maybe it's just like the STEM part of it that I really like. So yeah, S tier. Next is, oh, This was just some garbage. I'm not even gonna say that's an F. I'm not even gonna bother with it. Next one's an F, and I don't even want to talk. Next is another Ellie Hazelwood. I love, not in love. This one I gave an A. It was A. I liked the other one better. This Hollow Heart by Nikki Chapelway. 3.5, rags to riches, sort of romance fantasy story. It was a reimagining of the Headless Horseman, and I didn't hate it. I wasn't super in love with it. It was very short. It was actually very short. It's more like a novella. It was 144 pages, so I'm reading everything out of my book. Otherwise, I would never remember all these things. B. C. C. Those Who Wait, also an arc, but I really, really liked this one. Those Who Wait by Georgia Spearing. This was a mix, not a reimagining, but this was about Greek gods in the present time, and this chick who was like an archaeologist. There we go. She falls in love with she falls in love with a Greek god. I don't know. There's like all this political stuff happening. It's the first of 3. So the first one I got as an arc, and then I have bought the others. Well, actually, and then I went back and bought the first one, and then bought the 2 sequels, but I haven't read the sequels yet. So this one I really, really love. I gave this an A. Even wrote, look out for sequel. The next one, oh, my friend got, okay, so this was another book club pick, and I'm very excited about this. I've only read the first 4, so I need to finish it. But Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So I've taken that leap into one of her series, and I really, really love it because it's mostly fantasy with like a side plot of romance, which is how I prefer things. S tier. So the next one is 1984 by George Orwell. Everybody knows this book. This was, I read it back in high school, but I listened to the audio because it was a descriptive audio, is that what you call it? Where it's like actors acting things out instead of just reading the book. The Audible, I'm going to give an A tier, but obviously it's one of my favorite books, and I recommend everybody in the entire world to read it and understand it. Another Ellie Hazelwood, Love Theoretically, also, apparently I gave this 5 stars, so I guess it gets to be an S tier. Next one is The Haven, the Hollow, and the Highborn by Jessa Gray. This I also received as an arc. It was basically a novella. It was a romantasy, and yeah, this was like a standalone, and then kind of a standalone, if I recall right, and part, like it has more books that are going to be part of the universe. I don't know. I gave it 4.5, so I'm going to give it an A. But I honestly don't remember much about. No, this is the really cool one where she has like these weird powers that awaken in her, and she has to kind of restore order to the natural world and stuff. Okay, so still an A. Another arc that I got, Where the Stars Heal, and this was a romance, but what do you call it? Like a contemporary romance, sort of. It was more, I would call this a drama, but I guess you don't really call books a drama. If it was a movie, I'd call it a drama. I gave it a 5 star, so I guess there's also a second one of this I need to go check out. The one after this, we're going back to the Throne of Glass series, and it's The Crown of Midnight. S tier. S tier. I'm gonna guess, as I keep reading through the series, everything's gonna be an S tier. So the next one is Curse and Spindle by Chelsea Ann Tomlins. This was an arc that I got as well, also a novella. I gave this 4.5 out of stars, so I'm gonna give it an A. It'll be an A. And it's basically a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, and I actually really liked how it was. It was more Sleeping Beauty, but woman empowerment. Apparently I read something called Blissful Masquerade and Perfect Convergence. I have no idea what those are. All I wrote was just garbage. So F tiers to whatever the hell those are. Immortal Origins. I really, really like this one a lot. I got this as an arc, and then I went and bought it, and then now I am eagerly anticipating the sequel. It's going to be a duology, which, more duologies, please. But this is, it's a fantasy romance, not specifically romancy. I would say it's fantasy with the subplot of romance. I gave it 5 stars. This is going S tier. I love the hell out of this. It has to do with like gods and a kingdom and power classes. Yeah, which I guess is kind of a common thing anymore. I don't know. Anyway, I really, really loved it. I highly recommend it to anybody. It's 600 pages, so have fun, but it reads super quick. Next one is Assassin Blade by Sarah J. Maas again. S tier. F5. S tier. More in the Throne of Glass series. Exactly what you think about it. There's a lot of books in here. The next one, I picked this for my book club. was very excited. It's A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. I love her horror so much. Her brand of horror, which is just like weird things happening and a lot of sarcasm and jokes, fun characters. We giggled a lot because there's like these little I don't even know what to call them. I call them little sperm babies. It's just part of this plot that I can't even explain to you, but if you read it, you know exactly what the little sperm babies are. It's so weird. S tier. Oh my god, S tier. The next one is, oh, I remember this one. This was an arc, and it wasn't bad. Threads of the Maiden Moon by Mila Rose. It's a fantasy romance. I think I might actually classify this one more as a romantasy. I was interested in the story that was happening in the background, but apparently this is going to be a trilogy. So I like the fantasy aspect of it. The romance was, I hated it. I'm sorry. This was a B. The next one is definitely not my typical. I rented Lights Out from Libby by Nevessa Allen. And a couple of my friends that I love, they read it, they really enjoyed it, and I was like, all right, let me just check out what the hell this like dark romance thing is. I'll give it an A. Like, I understand the appeal of it for people. I think I'm not inclined to read whatever sequels. I tested it. It wasn't my thing. The characters were pretty funny and entertaining, and I liked the kind of story that was happening. So I gave it an A. Not read it anymore, but it was fun. Whatever. I really wish I liked this one. Cyberpunk 2077, No Coincidence by Rafat Kosuk? I'm sorry. I really wanted to like this. A D. This is a D. Story could have been cool. I like the cyberpunk world a lot. Execution, D. Was not a fan. Sorry. Sorry, no sorry. X-Files Origins, Devil's Advocate by Jonathan Mayberry. Really, really like this. I am a diehard X-Files fan, so this was fantastic. I'm giving this an A. Solid A. This is X-Files from when Dana and Mulder are teenagers. They actually kind of almost cross paths, but not quite. And this is all from Dana's POV. An event happening when she was a teen. Okay, so the next one is Deep Sky by Yume Kitasai. I'm sorry, I blundered her last name a lot. This was for book club. I really wish I liked it, but I give it a C. Like, it had potential, but there was a lot of like tedious shit in it that I just didn't give a shit about. And there was like all these flashbacks and like, honestly, it added nothing for me to the story. I am sorry. And then the end pissed me off so much. Kind of like Battlestar Galactica. Amazing series until you get to the last 2 episodes and then it throws everything off and you're like, what's the fucking point? Basically how I felt by this. Not really inclined to read anything else by her. I'm really sorry if you love that book and you love her. This one's a novella, Select Screen by Abigail Stewart. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know what you... A lit fic is what I wrote. It's a short indie novella, which is basically a reflection on what the current age is like that we live. There's like streamers, influencers, like what is happening with the internet, and just like little stories that overlap, intertwine, and stuff, and just kind of a, I don't know, a critique of how we interact in this day and age. And man, I mean, it was so accurate, but God, I really hate. I gave it a B. It's a B. Next one is The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets by Simon Singh. Solid A. This is all about The Simpsons and their mathematical secrets, because a lot of the writers and the creators and everybody, they all have these science and physics and computer science backgrounds and everything, which makes it really fun. And there's a lot of really interesting history and stories that were in it that it made me really appreciate The Simpsons even more than I already did. Next one is X-Files Origins. Again, Agents of Chaos by Cami Garcia. This is, whereas the first one was Dana's perspective, Scully's perspective, this one is Mulder's. Still really good. A. Solid A. I enjoyed it. This is really like where his obsession started, with his obsession with the truth really, really got its kick off. Next one, oh my god, this is one of the best books I have ever read, and I did not expect it. Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This was for a book club, my book club that I'm in, and I can't remember who picked it. I'm so glad they did, because I probably would not have read this. I wouldn't have like I don't know, I just guess I generally don't go and grab like literary fiction just as a general, but this book had me crying at one point. It was so good. And I think the little old lady in it reminded me of my grandma. So, S tier. Absolute fucking S tier. Oh, and it's being made into a movie, which is super cool. I'm very excited about the cast for it. Next one is The Paleontologist by Luc Dumas. This was, I guess you would call it kind of a, I don't know, sci-fi thriller. I don't know if it's really, it's kind of in vein of Jurassic Park, sort of, kind of. I give it a 4-star. This was an A for me. I thought it was pretty good blend of the main character, like you're trying to figure out if this weird dinosaur shit that's happening around him, like he's a museum curator for the dinosaur paleontologist curator, and trying to figure out if he is losing his mind or if the I don't know, the dinosaur ghosts are actually happening. It's like Night at the Museum, but dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs might eat you. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. This was a horror thriller. I enjoyed it. It was really short, 249 pages. I'd give it a B. Like, it was good, and I thought it had a really good twist at the end. The siblings were insufferable. Oh my god. They irritated the ever-loving shit out of me, but I realize it's also probably how I am with my sister, so win some, lose some. Maybe that one was a little bit close to home. Next one is The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. But I love this. I'm giving this an S tier. This was so much fun, and I'm basically going to try to just read anything by him at this point. I like his writing. It's witty, short, banter, sarcastic, fun story that's happening in the background of just like absolute nonsensical things. Definitely really enjoyed it. Kaiju. How can you not like kaiju, right? So, S tier. Next one is Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. That was a book club pick again. It was good. It was really good. It was a little slow to start. It was very weird, very different. Sci-fi horror, given it an A. I can't compare it to anything. Like, honestly, this was just so different. I've got nothing to compare it to, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So, solid A. Dinosaur Summer by Greg Bear. I was on a dinosaur kick, obviously, with like the kaiju and the paleontologist, and then Dinosaur Summer, which is an older sci-fi. It was very slow, and for me, it felt like it was 2/3 just this father and son, and then 1/3 dinosaurs. And I wanted more dinosaurs, so I felt like, sorry, Greg Bear, I know you're like a big deal in the sci-fi world, but I was just a little bored, so C. Next is Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is going to be an A. Yeah. Actually, screw it. This one might be an S. This was an S. Yeah, it's an S. I'll give it an S. My S's apparently are all going to be... Never mind. I enjoyed it, whatever. Demons and Tea Leaves by Courtney Davis was a short fantasy. It felt like it needed to be, like, there could have been more build-up in it. The characters and the story could have been fleshed out more. It was a B. C. I liked it for what it was. I just felt like it could have been more. It wasn't bad. So, oh my god. I'm really bad about just C. I didn't hate it. I wasn't in love with it. It exists. It's a C. The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. This one I really loved. I'm going to give it an A. This is, like, I like the characters. I like the story. Actually, there wasn't really anything I didn't like about it, but it's a solid A. I wasn't, like, overly obsessed with it, but I really, really loved it. A. A tier. The next one is Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. This I got through Book of the Month. It's a thriller, medium-paced thriller. There's some cult action, a small town, murder, secrets, chick finding her, trying to find what happened to her sister from like a decade earlier, or something like that. I enjoyed it. It would make a pretty good movie, I think. It would make a really good movie, actually. A. It was good. Solid crime thriller. Yeah. Next one, I picked this for book club, The Only Good Indians. It was weird. I kind of wanted more of like the Wendigo. There, I was very upset about the dogs dying. Trigger warning, there's going to be deaths of dogs. I'm sorry. Very bizarre, cool native horror. very good, but I wasn't like super in love with it. I want to try the Buffalo Hunter one, and maybe I'll love that one more. I give it a B. Enjoyable, worth the read. Passed it off to a friend, although she hasn't reported back what she liked or not about it. The Chemistry Test by Georgina Frankie. This was a YA STEM romance, sort of, kind of, a college romance, and I got it through Kindle, I think. C. I give it a C. I kind of like, it's kind of meet cute, sort of, and I give it points for having representation of disability and stuff in there, but God, the biggest thing was the lack of communication between the characters and misinterpreting signals, and those are like giant freaking pet peeves of mine that I absolutely hate. Just freaking talk to each other. You get a, what did I say, C? C for chemistry. The Knacker by Gareth K. Pengley. This was a pretty good horror. It's a British horror, cryptid British horror, I guess. The Knacker is something over there. It was good. Pretty quick read. There's a couple more in the series, and I will go back and read. I give it a B. Next one is When We Were Orphans by Kazuo Ishiguro. I know this person is very, didn't get like a Nobel Prize or some shit, and like, I'm really sorry. I hated this book. This got picked for book club, and I think most of us were basically like, we hate this. I'm sorry. I didn't like any of the characters. The story was just kind of like, eh. Clearly just not a genre or an author for me. I'm sorry. F. I'm sorry. Next one is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. This was my 50 mark. Woo, I read 50 books and that was my goal for the year. Really great. Also a book club, or not book club, but book of the month pick. It's a horror with some comedy in there. I gave it a 4-star, which I would give this a B. It was good. There was a lot of family drama part of it, which was kind of frustrating. And the main character, like, she frustrated the hell out of me. But there was the interesting aspect of, like, is she going crazy? Was her mom going crazy? Were these things actually happening? Was there actually a demon or not, a presence? And was everything that she knew to be truth in her childhood and upbringing actually the truth? Because everybody, her sisters, her father, they all had like a different perspective in what they thought was the truth and what she thought was the truth and what her mother thought was the truth. It was good. Just the female main character drove me up the freaking wall so bad. So B. B, B, B. I dove down this little hole of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which were, I guess they were like a viral thing, not entirely sure. Was trying out new authors, new different things. I'm learning. Apparently I like the cozy, like simple cozy romance where it's like a dash of spice in it. I'm giving it a B. I really enjoyed it, and I ended up reading more, as you will find out. B. Just a cozy romance, whatever. Next is Black Mountain. It's third in the Alex Hunter series by Greg Beck. It's part of a series, but apparently you can read it as standalone. There was enough in the background that I felt like I didn't miss anything to the character's backstory, which is cool, but overall I thought it was a little bit slow, a little boring. It was supposed to be about Sasquatch, and all I wanted was Sasquatch, and it was like half Sasquatch. Although people right from the get-go get their shit rocked. So it was only just over 300 pages, and I felt like it took me a long time to really want to finish it, so you get a B. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which was part of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series by Laurie Gilmore. I gave it an A. I liked this one more than the first one, gotta say. I'm just not gonna really talk much about it. It is what it is. Next was for book club, again, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. I think I've determined that I don't really care for Agatha Christie. Ironically, because I really, really love those Knives Out movies a lot, but reading her book I just didn't really care for, so I gave her a D. I give that a D. I didn't like the characters, and I didn't really like the story. It wasn't the worst murder mystery, but I just didn't really care for it. Okay, the next one is The 31st Trick-or-Treater by Ben Farthing, and this is a S-tier book. Absolutely S-tier. Witty, totally original, unique Halloween sort of story, supposed to be read as Advent, and I made it halfway through the month and decided, no, I'm obsessed with this and need to finish it. So, S-tier, you should definitely read it this coming Halloween. Next is Ghost Radio by Leopoldo Gout. Okay, this I tried to listen to as a audiobook, and I gave it a C, mostly because this is probably partially me because I have a hard time with audiobooks. But also I just wasn't overly absorbed in the story, and I was kind of not able to piece apart what was someone's story and what the actual radio host was going through. C. The Unseen by Ania Alborn. This is S tier. Ania is my favorite horror author of all time, and her book was great. This one was different from the rest. This was Aliens. I hope that's not a spoiler. Anyway, S tier. Bizarro thing. A lot of swapped POV, which is not her usual either, but I definitely loved it a lot. Oh god, this one I realize is not for me as well. The Merry Mischief List by Haley Dickert. I gave this to a friend. I was like, I read it. I don't need this in my possession. You have it. You have the raunchy art that came with it. I don't know. I gave it a C. The next is The Christmas Tree Farm. I gave that one an A. I think that one was maybe the best out of the three for that, whatever they're called, the Dreamers or whatever. I liked it the best. I like the grumpiness. Oh, and there was 3 dogs, and I love dogs. Oh. Hey. The Ministry of Time by Kayleen Bradley. This is a sci-fi. I very much enjoyed it. It was a little slow to start, and then I got really into it, so I'm going to give it a solid A. This is going to be a very scrunched up list. I realize that now. The next is The Scary Book of Christmas Lore. This is a nonfiction by Tim Rayborn. Good, quick, entertaining, 144 pages. B. It was a B. Just could have been more, but it was a B. Next is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I gave this a B as well. Maybe a C. Nah, it's a B. It's a B and a half. Or a C and a half. I don't know. Oh, fine. I will throw you in a B. It's supposed to be like a play on How the Grinch Stole Christmas sort of thing. This was fine. There was that annoying, like the slow burn was cute. It had some definite cringe in it. I kind of like the references to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Okay, fine. It's a B. Whatever. 25 Days per Jackson. This was supposed to be a horror advent leading up to Christmas, and once again I could not put it down, so I just read the entire thing and did not wait till Christmas. B. It was B. This is definitely a B, but it was a really good B, a good horror Christmas B. If you need something horror and Christmassy and you're in the mood for winter, great pick for you. Next is The Dead of Winter by Sarah Clegg. This is a nonfiction folklore that has to do with, I had a whole video about this, whatever. This was a A. This was A for me. Really good in-depth, different things about old folklore around the holidays. Enjoyed it. Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. This is an A. I really like her style of romance, as it turns out. It reads really quick. The characters are fun. I like the story. Enjoyed everything about it. Next is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn. This is a sequel to How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. This one is supposed to be a play on National Lampoons. I didn't get any of that from this, like, at all. But I like this one more than the first one. Although I feel like this one took me a little bit more to get into, but overall I liked it more. There's a whole video about it. You can go watch it. Whatever. It's an A. This one's an A for me. Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. Again, this one was really, really good. There's going to be a sequel for it, and I need to get the sequel. I like this one a lot. This is going to be an S tier for me. It was a play on A Christmas Carol. So I like that a lot. The Wood at Winter, Susanna Clark. This was the last book that I had for 2025. It was a very short, basically a poetry book. It was 60 pages. I like Susanna Clark a lot. It was short, fun, all about like the meaning of happiness and the character wanting to live in the woods and be happy just with how she wants her life to be. Identifiable. I would love to go to the woods and never come back again. Mostly. No, I really love the woods. So, 68 books. I read 23,381 pages. and covered romance, fantasy, contemporary, horror, and sci-fi. Basically, I covered anything. Oh, and nonfiction, math, science, history. Longest book was Iron Flame, and the shortest book was The Wood at Midnight, because it was 60 pages. So, not bad. The most, I have like all these statistics because Storygraph, I use Storygraph to log everything, and I love their statistics so much. Like, get rid of Goodreads and just go to Storygraph. It's so much better, I promise. It's so much better. I'm hoping that was 68 books. That last one might be my goal. It doesn't matter how long the book is, how big, how many pages, how whatever. Doesn't matter what the book is. I'm just trying to read through my backlog. So last year I squeezed in 68 books. This year I am trying to squeeze in just more. If I could hit 70, that'll be great. Just 2 more than last year. Gonna squeeze. I am off to a very slow start so far though. So we will see if I can keep it up. But yeah, so that's my tier list for what I read. If you've read any of them or you disagree with some, which some of them you absolutely might, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, it is what it is. But let me know what you thought.